Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. It is talking season and the disrespect continues. But who is that disrespect pointed at? Is it pointed at Tennessee? Is it pointed at Josh Heupel? Is it pointed at Joey Aguilar? Look, I've said for a long time on this channel, I don't care who is taking the snaps. I don't care if it's Hendon Hooker, if it's Joe Milton, if it's Nico, Joey Aguilar, Jake Merklinger, Andy Kelly, Heath Schuler. I do not care. Whoever is taking the snaps at Tennessee is the guy that I'm going to roll with. So if it's Joey Aguilar, let's go play football. If it's Jake Merklinger, let's go play football. But the disrespect continues. Saw this article pop up on my feed last night. And then, of course, I see everybody talking about it last night into this morning. This is an article from on3.com. Anonymous SEC coach claims Tennessee takes a step back with Joey Aguilar versus Nico Iamaleava. Now, what are your thoughts on that? I think on paper, of course, this makes sense. I expect us to take a step back, but in reality, I kind of thought we may take a step back even with Nico. But when you look at it on paper, when you look at Joey Aguilar versus Nico Iamaleava, Joey unranked, coming out of high school, right? Unranked prospect, ends up going the JUCO route. Coming out of JUCO, he's a 3-star product before arriving at App State. And then you look over at Nico, 5-star quarterback. At one point, the number 1 overall player in the class, according to the On3 industry rankings. The kid with the golden arm. He could make all the throws. He had all the traits. He had all the intangibles. I think he was the highest rated player Tennessee has signed in the modern era. These are two different types of quarterbacks. Two different types of expectations. Nico was heading into his 3rd full season in the system. 2nd season as a starter. The timing, the understanding of the offense, the chemistry. You expected him to see some growth going into 2025. You expected him to take a step going into 2025. Joey, on the other hand, you got like 4 months to figure this thing out, kid. So, of course, on paper, it makes sense for Tennessee to take a step back. We're going to go through this article. We're going to take a look at it. I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me real quick. Just smash the thumbs up right down there below the video. It's quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media reporters or journalists. We don't fake that. We don't pretend that. We don't sell you on something that we're not. What we are is exactly what you guys are watching this channel. We are fans, diehard, psychotic, passionate Tennessee football fans, for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. That way you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Right now, we're live every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We hang out. We play EA Sports College Football. We talk all things Tennessee football. But let's talk about this article from Alex Byington, again, over at On3. Says the Tennessee Volunteers became the talk of the college football world earlier this spring when star quarterback Nico Iamaleava opted to transfer to UCLA after a failed NIL renegotiation. Goes on to say that led to what many described as college football's first trade as the Bruins quarterback and former App State transfer Joey Aguilar re-entered the portal only to land in Knoxville. Because of Tennessee's surprising shakeup that the most important position on the field that opposing SEC coaches aren't exactly sold on the Vols making a 2nd straight college football playoff. Here's the quote. They're going to take a step back and won't be a playoff team this season, but the quarterback play won't be awful, one anonymous opposing SEC coach told Athlon Sports about Tennessee. So again, they're going to take a step back, won't be a college football playoff team, but the quarterback play won't be awful. Now, how do you feel before Nico entered the portal versus now? A lot of people, I think, felt like Tennessee was going to take a step back regardless. You look at this schedule, and that's why I was kind of juggling in my early predictions. Does Tennessee win 9 games, or does Tennessee go 10-2 again and make another run in the college football playoff? Why is that? Well, you got to do 3 things that Josh Heupel has not done yet, right? I mean, Josh Heupel has won the last 4 games against Alabama and Florida in Neyland Stadium. 4-0. 2 seasons of home games, undefeated against 2 of the big 3. That's huge for Josh Heupel and what he's done since arriving at Tennessee. But he has yet to beat either one of those teams on the road. You got to go on the road to Alabama on October the 18th. You got to go on the road to Florida November the 22nd. And then he's also yet to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. So when you look at those 3 things, I'm kind of saying, okay, we may take a step back in 2025, right? We may take a step back. We may be looking at 9-3 and not having a shot in the college football playoff. So does Joey Aguilar change that? Again, the anonymous SEC coach says the quarterback play won't be awful. Does it have to be spectacular? Does Joey Aguilar have to go out and put up Heisman Trophy numbers? Or if he's just efficient, can this offense take a step. It goes on to say, with Iamaleava leading the way, last season's Vols went 10-3, 6-2 in SEC play, backed into an at-large playoff bid, the program's first ever college football playoff appearance, without having to play in the SEC championship game. Of course, it was a quick one-and-done appearance as the eventual national champion Ohio State demolished Tennessee 42-17. But with Iamaleava now in LA, another anonymous SEC coach believed the Vols regressed at quarterback after getting the short end of the Aguilar-Iamaleava trade. Yeah, I get we're calling it that because that's what it looks like. Nico to UCLA, Joey to Tennessee. This is not a trade. This is not a trade. This is Nico backing Tennessee into a corner, holding them hostage, jumping into the portal the day before the spring game, and Josh Heupel had to go and find the best available quarterback, and that just so happened to be Joey Aguilar. Here's a quote from another anonymous SEC coach: losing Nico isn't good. They're not replacing him with a more talented quarterback, and now they're losing the quarterback who ran the system in a playoff game. But because of the way everything went down, I don't think anyone blames the program or Josh Heupel. And with the turnover on defense, Nico leaving makes a transition year a lot easier to stomach. I don't get that turnover on defense comment. We'll talk about that in just a second. But he talks about Nico running the offense in the playoff game. Well, that playoff game, 45% completion percentage, threw for 104 yards. Is that really running the offense? Now, I'm not taking away from Nico. Nico is pretty much the only guy that showed up to play in that college football playoff game. Just total domination by Ohio State. But it takes all 11, right? Nico went out there and felt like he was playing on his own. It takes all 11. Now, was the offense that much better with Nico last season than it was with Joe a year prior? You know, Joe Milton, that team put up 31.8 points per game. You were up 4 points in 2024 to 35.7 under Nico. But again, it takes all 11. The offensive line struggled at times. You had dropped passes. Nico's accuracy was off at times. And there were so many times throughout the course of that season we said we're close. We're close. What if everything clicks? But we said it all season long. Now, was that on Nico? Was that on the wide receivers? Was that on the offense as a whole? Was that on play calling? A lot of people want to point fingers at Joey Halsley. But it's, thinking you're taking a step back because of Joey Aguilar. Nobody thought Hendon Hooker was going to transfer into Tennessee and do anything. Right? He had thrown for less than 3,000 yards in 2 seasons at Virginia Tech, had 22 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, but he comes to Tennessee, throws for almost 3,000 yards in 2021, 3,100 plus in 2022, 58 touchdowns to 5 interceptions in 2 seasons. Should have been in New York. Should have represented this university in New York for the Heisman Trophy presentation. I'm not saying he should have won it. He should have represented his school. So can Joey make that type of transition? If Joey throws for 3,000 yards or 31 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, if he puts up numbers similar to Hendon Hooker, I have a hard time believing that this football team is not going to be in the college football playoff if Joey puts up similar numbers to Hendon. Now, can he do that? I don't know. Nobody thought Hendon was going to do it. Article goes on to say, anonymous opposing SEC coach on Tennessee without Nico, the offense won't fall off a cliff. Again, if this offense doesn't fall off a cliff, I think we may be okay. Let's just skip on down here to the this is talking about numbers, Nico's numbers, Joey's numbers, throwing for 3,000 yards, of course, 23 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. That's what everybody's pointing the finger at, is those interceptions. It is a concern. Does Josh Heupel's offense fix that? But here's the quote from another SEC coach: the offense won't fall off a cliff. The system is effective at adjusting for personnel, even the quarterback. The bigger question, even after Nico, is replacing the defensive starters who carried them in big games. The secondary is legit and probably their strength right now. So they're questioning the defense and replacing the defensive starters. And I get it. You got to find a way to replace James Pierce. A lot of people are talking about Will Brooks. You got to find a way to replace Will Brooks. Of course, losing Jacoby Thomas to the portal doesn't help that matter. But if you ask me where the question mark was, I would say a lot of people would probably say the secondary. Are you worried about a defensive line that rotated 10 to 12 guys a year ago? I'm not really concerned about Rodney Garner and this defensive line. They've been elite since Rodney Garner stepped foot back on campus. You got Don Bailey, Jackson Moy, Bryson Easton. Josh Josephs has an opportunity to do something special in 2025. Caleb Herring, David Hobbs, Nathan Robinson, Tyree West, Isaiah Campbell, Jordan Ross. I mean, they're pretty deep at the defensive line position. What about linebackers? Jeremiah T-Lander, Arian Carter are now growing up their junior season. I think those two are going to be pretty good. Edwin Spillman's going to play a lot of football this year. Again, I think the secondary for us, for Tennessee fans, not on the outside looking in, that follow Tennessee football every day, some people may be more concerned about the secondary than they are anything else on the defense. How healthy is Jamad McCoy? Will Brooks is gone. Jacoby Thomas, transfer portal. Is Idris Farouk ready to take that next step at safety? Is he ready? I think he's athletic. I think he plays with violence. I think he plays with intention. When he got on the field in mop-up duty, he looked the part. Is he ready to be the starter at safety? Andre Turrentine. Then you look at the corner position. I think on paper, we're really good. Does Jermon McCoy get healthy? Is he healthy? Is he ready by that Georgia game? That's the one that's circled on the calendar for me. Can Jermon McCoy get healthy? Because I think if he's healthy, you got McCoy, you got Gibson, you got Jalen McMurray, who's played a lot of snaps. And then, of course, you add Colton Hood from Colorado, who I think can be really good in this defense. Brew Carter at the star position. Let's pack it up and let's go play football. So is that article, are these SEC coaches, is that disrespect? Kind of sounds exactly like where we were before Nico ever hit the portal. Can Joey adapt? Can he adjust? Can he learn this offense in just 4 months? What are your thoughts? What are your expectations? Is 9-3 on the table? Is 10-2 on the table? Or is the sky falling? I've seen some crazy record predictions out there. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link's in the description below. There's also a link in the description, or you can just hit that join button right down there beside subscribe. You can become a member of this channel. Just $1 a month, access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows. You get a power T beside your name in the chat and in the comment section. But more importantly, you're supporting a channel that is for the fans, by the fans, and we are grateful for that. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.